All right, let's talk about something that can be a real headache in competitive exams, those tricky reasoning puzzles. Today, we're gonna crack the code. We'll look at the most common types, and I'll show you the simple tricks to solve them fast.
You know the feeling, right? You're in an exam, the clock's ticking away, and then you see a question like this. It's so easy for your brain to just freeze up. They look so complex, almost like they're designed to make you stumble. But what if there's a secret? Because there is. And here it is. These questions are not a test of how smart you are. Not really. They're a game of spotting patterns. And once you learn how to see the patterns, you can master the game. It's a skill, and you can absolutely learn it. So how are we going to do it? Here's our roadmap. We're going to start with numbers and series, then we'll move on to decoding logic and language. After that, we'll get into mapping people and places, and finally, we'll tackle time and space. Make sure you stick around because the last section ties it all together. Okay, first up, the classic number puzzle. Now the secret here isn't about being a math whiz. It's actually much simpler. It's just about paying close attention. So take a look at this. 2, 6, 12, 20, 30. What's next? At first glance, the connection isn't obvious at all. You can't just add or multiply by the same number to get to the next one. So what's the trick here? Here's how we crack it. Don't look at the numbers themselves. Instead, look at the gaps between them. The difference between 2 and 6 is 4. Between 6 and 12, it's 6. Then 8, then 10. You see that? There's a super simple pattern in the differences. 4, 6, 8, 10. So the next jump has to be 12. You just add that 12 to our last number, 30, and you get your answer, 42. And that right there is our first major trick. Let's call it the difference pattern. The answer wasn't in the main series of numbers. It was hiding in that second, simpler pattern underneath. Always check the gaps.
All right, so we've tackled numbers. Now let's see how that same kind of thinking applies to letters and words. These questions aren't about how big your vocabulary is. They're about seeing the structure in the language itself.
You have definitely seen these before. The classic coding-decoding question. It looks like some kind of secret spy message, right? But I promise you, the answer is almost always way simpler than it looks.
Just take a closer look at Apple and Elpa. What's really going on? Yeah, that's it. It's just the word apple spelled backwards. That's the entire code. So, to solve for mango, we do the exact same thing. We just reverse it, and we get O-G-N-A-M.
And this brings us to our second key trick. Always look for simple transformation patterns. Seriously, before you go hunting for some complex cipher, check the absolute basics first. Is the word just reversed? Are the letters shifted 1 or 2 spots in the alphabet? The simplest explanation is usually the right one. Okay, let's switch gears from abstract codes to puzzles about people. We're talking about family trees, who's sitting where, that sort of thing. The key here is to not try and hold it all in your head. You gotta visualize it.
Now this is a classic that gets people all the time. It seems so simple. Your first instinct is probably to just add 7 and 9 together, right? But that's the trap. Why doesn't that work?
Well, think about it. When you count 7 from the top, you count Ravi. And when you count 9 from the bottom, you count Ravi again. You've counted them twice. So the trick, the formula is simple. Add the top and bottom ranks and then just subtract 1 to correct for that double count. So 7 plus 9 is 16, minus 1 gives us the real answer, 15 students.
And this powerful little rule is our next trick, the overlap principle. Remember this one, because it solves every single one of these ranking problems. Total equals top plus bottom minus 1, done. All right, for our last section, let's get into puzzles that involve time and space. Things like clocks and mirror images. They seem abstract, but they follow very specific rules that are actually pretty easy to remember once you know them. And check this out, 2 amazing shortcuts. For a clock's mirror image, forget about trying to picture it in your head. It's too confusing. The trick is to just subtract the time from 1160. So 3:30 becomes 8:30. Easy. And for a water image, the trick is even simpler. Just flip it vertically. So an M turns into a W. These are simple hacks for problems that only look complicated.
And finding the angle between a clock's hands? That's not guesswork either. You might think at 3:15 the hands are right on top of each other, at 0 degrees. But remember, the hour hand is always moving. Luckily, there's a precise formula for this. You just plug in the hour and the minute and it gives you the exact answer every single time. In this case, it's a tiny 7.5 degrees. So, we've covered number patterns, word games, ranking puzzles, and clock tricks. After all that, what's the one big thing that connects all of them? What's the one skill you should really walk away with?
It's this 4-step core method. No matter what the question is, you do this. 1. Pause. Just take a breath, don't rush. 2. Observe. Look for the simplest pattern first. Is it a difference, a reversal, an overlap? 3. Apply the specific trick for that type of pattern. And 4. The last step, check. Just do a quick mental check to see if your answer makes sense. That's the whole game.
So are you ready to start seeing the patterns? Because the goal here wasn't to memorize a bunch of answers. It was to give you a method, a new way of looking at these puzzles. It's about building the confidence to calmly look at any problem, find the hidden logic, and solve it. You practice this approach, and I promise you, you'll be able to crack the code on any question that comes your way.